this one, our first one is for the video titled Flex Installation, Understanding Eco Mode and Airflow Settings. Users asks, can you provide a chart of the three modes, standard, forced, and energy saving modes, so we can see what the three settings actually influence, or how the three settings actually influence the ramping and power settings. And I suppose probably when you might want to use those different settings. We have something we can show on the screen. All right. So yes, as default, unless somebody else wants to go through this, I can do it. As the default, it is going to be your standard mode. Your default mode will be standard, so there's no changes needed there. You're going to have a normal compressor ramp up rate, and this is for balanced comfort and efficiency. That's what we like to see, right? Comfort and efficiency. If you don't have comfort, then you might not care about efficiency. Never will you have efficiency and not care about comfort. You wouldn't have an air conditioner, right? But this is great for mixed climates with normal setbacks. Like if you've got a regular setback temperature you're wanting to look at, like it's, I don't know, you're setting at 74, 75 degrees or something like that when you leave. I mean, we like to go set it and forget it, but if you have a regular setback, that's perfect for that operation. Or if you're using a setback that's already pre-programmed into your thermostat, your smart thermostat. So next, we're going to talk about eco mode. Excuse me. You're going to have a slower compressor ramp up. So you're going to have a longer ramp up time, and which means that you'll have smoother power draw, you'll have higher efficiency, but you'll also have often more dehumidification due to having that longer run time. And it's great for milder climates all year round. It's also great for like half-ton sizing, or applications in which you might not need that total capacity, like ever, right? If you did your heat load calculation like everybody does all the time, right? If you do your heat load calculation to determine that you might need 32,000 BTUs, well, you might be able to use eco mode and you meet your set point during its ramp up time. So it never has to hit like 36,000 BTUs to provide, the cooling needs or heating needs for that space. So that's a good option to use. Would you guys agree with that, using eco mode for fractional
Yes.
changes?
Oh
Yep.
yeah,
That's
it's actually listed on the Flex Quick Start Guide. It describes, how to use it for those half ton increments.
Right, right. I mean, as like for, let's say, like we say, well, we might find an application where we need, 52,000, 53,000, or something like that. Do you need to use a 5 ton at that point? Yes. Yes, you do. But do you need it to produce 60,000 BTUs?
No,
Maybe not.
no.
no.
Like, so maybe you can go ahead and shift that over into eco mode and save that customer, a little bit of money. And the thing is, when you're selling a high efficiency unit, that's what you're selling, right? You're selling that it's going to save them money on their power bill, that kind of thing, right? So, you want to maximize those savings. Finally, we have the strong or power forced mode. That's going to be the fastest compressor ramp up time that you're going to see out of this unit. So, it's going to ramp up faster than than it would typically. And it's great for extremely cold or hot climates. I'd like to add to that, if you have a customer that insists on having like extreme setbacks, like turning the unit off and then wanting it to heat up or cool down within 30 minutes or something like that, right? This would be, this will be your option. This is as fast as it can possibly ramp up and meet set point, right? Any
Like a
other
meeting
applications that,
space, or
what was that?
something like a meeting space, like a
Yeah,
meeting hall or something that you just leave it off, and then you bring 50 people in. You might want it set to strong mode.
right. Yeah. You show up 10 minutes before the meeting and you turn the air conditioner on. Like, well, you might want it to ramp up as fast as possible. Any other applications that we can think of? I know this has come up a couple times via our tech support line.
Trying to think, just
I
like
thought
places
David
like
was asleep for a minute.
like that, like definitely like reception halls, things like that you just use on the weekends or something like that.
Man, I can think of one example that came through tech support, and it was I believe it was like a boutique, something that probably opens around 10 o'clock in the morning, Main Street boutique type, application.
Yeah.
And absolutely, just turning it off, in the middle of, for all night long, and they would, come in right before it opened, of course, and now that's, approaching the heat of the day, right? And wanted it to ramp up as quickly as possible. So that's the option we use, and that seemed to satisfy the customer. So,
Well, not only the climate, that we got to think about is also the occupants,
yeah,
people that are older in age, they probably don't need it to be cold really fast or hot really fast, so they go with the eco mode and just set it to, set the dip switch configuration to eco mode, and they won't even notice the difference. So
right. And as far as that ramp up curve, that's going to vary based on those temperatures, both outdoor and indoor. So regardless of what profile you use, it basically just takes what it normally would do and shifts it up or shifts it down, and that's pretty much all we're doing there.
I just want to clarify before, we wrap up and move on. None of these dip switches are going to fix any ductwork issues or airflow problems.
Yeah, or sizing issues, or
yeah, that's
right. Which I believe is a little bit of a red flag that we use in tech support, right? If somebody says, "Hey, how do I set up strong mode?" It's like,
start
okay,
asking more questions.
Yeah, let's talk about
yeah.
why you want to set up strong mode. Let's go from there.
Thanks for getting involved. If you need more answers, catch us live every month when we tackle your questions in real time. Head over to greecomfort.com/GREE-training, where you can register for the next Talking Comfort Live. See you there.